That is bliss. This soundtrack gives me chills. I love it. Especially the tracks in Cedar Grove here. So hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Silent Hill Origins. Just vibing out to this good music. We're here in Cedar Grove Sanitarium, based off of a tip that we got from Lisa Garland last time in Alchemilla Hospital. That pick slide hits you just right, straight down the spine. I fucking love this soundtrack. It's very underrated. And holy shit. We have a lot of floors and a lot of rooms. This place looks huge. And that can be intimidating. It is big, but it's not that big. It's the same illusion that Toluca Prison from Silent Hill 2 uses. I think we have a memo over here. Hold on. Dr. Harris, our magpies have been at it again. This time they swallowed the damn keys for archives in the basement. Don't worry, Gary is taking Mr. Magpie to the TB ward, and I'm taking Mrs. Magpie to hydrotherapy. We'll make them spit the keys out. This job would be great if it weren't for the patients. Clem. Clem sounds like a wonderful person to be working in a sanitarium. But that gives us a very early bit of direction. We have 2 keys to get, and we know exactly where to get them. Female hydrotherapy and the tuberculosis ward. Before we do any of that, we're going to step into this room here in the main lobby. Heavily disheveled room. This song is so rhythmic but so unnerving. But the main thing that we were after was that very missable target pistol. Again, this room is completely optional, meaning that gun, you can very easily miss out on that for the entire game. Evil. Evil shit. Cedar Grove does not fuck around either. I mentioned that this place is big and intimidating looking, but it's not that big. It's kind of like Toluca Prison, where there are a tremendous number of doors, but most of them are jammed or tucked behind jammed doors, which renders them inaccessible anyway. But the first time you open that map up, it hits you right in the gut. And this place, even though it's not quite as big as the map makes it seem, it is still for real. So, oh, that looks like a memo. Says report, March 12th, 1960, patient Mrs. Blank, age 34, examining doctor, Dr. Harris. Patient continues to harbor strong fantasies and violent persecution complex. Her moods can swing from calm to violent aggression in a short time, which has led to her being moved to the seclusion wing. She becomes particularly violent during the occasional visits from her husband, demanding that she be allowed to see their child. We have taken the precautionary step of adding epilinium to Mrs. Blank's medication to prevent her violent outbursts. I don't like having to sedate patients, but when she's aggressive, Blank is as much of a danger to herself as to her visiting husband and the staff. So we might find a little bit more out about this in the seclusion wing of the sanitarium. This dilapidated sanitarium.
You were at the fire. I saw you there. Of course you did.
It was foretold by Gyromancy.
That was my house, burning. My daughter, Alessa. You were the one who saved her.
Yeah. She was your daughter? Why did you leave her? Why did no one help? You all left that girl to burn.
So we did. The world is stranger than you think.
You're crazy.
Gyromancy.
What happened to her? Lisa said she was dead.
Alessa is with those who care for her. Do not trust her, Travis. She does not know what she is doing.
How do you know my name?
It was foretold by Gyromancy.
Hey, answer me. They're all crazy.
Could have sworn. There they are. No. I thought there was a filing cabinet that I could pick up. Oh well. So Yamaoka's goal with this soundtrack was to harken back to the atmosphere of Silent Hill 1. Now, I don't think that he quite did that. And I also don't think that that's a bad thing. This soundtrack's unique. It's got elements of Silent Hill 1, but also elements of Silent Hill 2, and then a lot of its own flavor. I do think that it succeeds in being chilling and intense, like Silent Hill 1 was, but it's at the same time more rhythmic, more melodic. So it plays a little more like Silent Hill 2's in that way, with less emotional range, and a lot more straight up unease. Without that heavy industrial dissonant stuff from 1 and 3. It's less raw, it's less unrefined. But it's more focused, and it's a strong Akira Yamaoka offering. So now we don't have all that much else that we can do from the position that we're in. So next up, we're actually going to be hitting the stairwell, which is going to be straight ahead and on the left. Probably going to be going to the map more often than I did in the Silent Hill 2 and 3 playthroughs, simply because I'm a lot less experienced with Origins. And we have our friendly save point right there at the base of the first floor. First, we'll head down and check to see if we can get into the basement, which we cannot yet. We do hear some pretty faint, unsettling noises, though. And there is plenty to criticize about Origins, but come on, by now you really have to realize that you're definitely playing a Silent Hill game. This isn't Alien. It's not so far removed from the rest of the series that it's unrecognizable. There are changes for the best and changes not so much. That shit right there? Nah. We out. God, why do they make panther noises? Like the Ganados in RE4. So it would be really helpful if we could go through this door and kind of just make a straight shot to the female therapy ward. Let's see how that works out. Hey, even if this is jammed, which it is, there's still a storage room behind us. Storage rooms in Cedar Grove have worked out well for us before. They actually put something in this one. Is this... Now, we saw QTEs with the straitjackets. This is our first time, I think, seeing the nurse QTE, which is just mashing out of her grab. Come on, I know there's shit in this room. Thank you. Trying to avoid shotgun ammo. Trying to avoid fighting her a little bit. Ah, it was bound to happen. As long as it's the only one I take. No, nothing else in here. Okay. Nothing else worth sticking around for anyway. Alright, so it's back to the spooky, scary Shadow Man. Ah, Jesus. We have to do this to get to the TB ward. Notice the big floating harness. That's the part of it that I just really viscerally do not like. Head on, all you see is the silhouette of this gangly-limbed Shadow Man. But then, in indirect light like that, you notice the harness, and that's a lot more disturbing. The implications. Ah. Also, just the iron lung in this setting. Like, an iron lung is a device that makes you uneasy to look at normally, but here, So in light of the recent accident, barring the use of the iron lung, supplies to all staff, including senior nurses, patient deaths during therapy are not to be treated lightly. I find it hard to believe it's an accident. Who could accidentally overload every valve on the equipment? So until the inquiry is concluded, I must assume the equipment itself is at fault. These precautions are essential. We owe a duty of care to all of our patients, even the difficult ones. Dr. Harris. Alright, so this iron lung puzzle is real easy, because we never use the second or the fourth valve. We just have to overload all of them at once to get it to open up. And each valve manipulates the adjacent needles, along with the one it corresponds to. And that opens the glass up, and behind the glass, or rather inside the iron lung, there was a key that we need. So that's 1 out of the 2. And now this is going to let us get to the basement. Jesus, the noises that thing makes. By the way, I haven't mentioned it yet. That thing is called a remnant. And it's one of at least 2 new enemy types that we are going to meet today. They can be fought, but it's difficult to fight them, because it's really hard to track them visually. And they have a shitload of health. They are pretty slow, though. Anyway, we're going to hit the staircase and then go back to the basement. Fuck that noise part 2. This storage locker we're not going to have as much luck with. We're going to trail this thing very, very carefully. That is our first look at a carrion, which is one of my favorite monsters in Origins. I think it's the first really strong monster design that gets to the core of what good Silent Hill monster design is all about. In darkness, it cuts a really bizarre, unsettling silhouette. Even with a little light, you don't quite know what you're looking at, so the imagination gets to go wild with the worst possibilities. and then upon closer examination or inspection, you can derive some meaning from it and use it to interrogate Travis's character a little bit. Right now, it's just angry at the world and nope. Those things are major threats to boot, so running into them is all the more scary. When we unpack a little bit more of the plot, we will talk about the design of some more of these monsters and what they might mean. Do I want to go up first, or do I try this? Nope. That tells me everything I need to know, because it is locked from the other side. So next up, female hydrotherapy. Oh boy. Do I have some shit to say about that? One of these doors, I do believe, is wide open. Wow, fuck that. We have a mirror. Before we hit that mirror, anything in here? I do not think so. No, so you know what that mirror means. We are about to enter the otherworld Cedar Hill Sanitarium, or Cedar Grove. I've definitely called that the wrong thing during this episode, haven't I? Hey, welcome back to that Silent Hill 1 atmosphere. Oh shit. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. It's about to get pretty spooky in here. Have a good one.